Meeting to order. First looking for approval of the agenda.
If there's no additions or corrections, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of minutes from August 18th, 2025. We all got a new copy this morning. So looking for a motion to approve those.
I'll approve the new minutes.
I will second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. New business. Item number 1, secondary roads. Review and consider First Amendment to road use and maintenance agreement with Silver Queen Wind Farm LLC. Zach?
Morning.
Good morning.
So this was requested by Silver Queen to amend our road use agreement. Kurt and I did some work on this, kind of back and forth with them. And very minimal changes really to our current agreement that we have. Basically allowing a little bit easier rights of egress and egress for them to facilitate the wind farm project, basically for them to be a little more efficient in what they do and trying to get their equipment moved around and such. So that's really the big part. So
Most of them were the A8, B, C, and D.
Correct. And really the biggest thing is A8 or 8C.
Yeah.
That's the one that really changed. So the rest of it really is the same as what it was. But I believe it's not going to be any detriment to the county, and will help facilitate what they're trying to get accomplished a lot easier. So
We aren't compromising any of our roads or anything by doing this.
I don't think so. Not our gravel roads. Our paved roads, will still be no crossings on the paved roads, but on the gravel roads, we're still protecting those with the crane mats, and they'll be filling the ditches. So I think we'll be okay.
We're not verbatim of Crawford County. We're a little more restrictive than the Crawford County.
Right, I heard them talk last week, yes.
So
For that, we need a motion to approve the road use agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve this. It's the First Amendment, right?
hold on one second. Do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, super project update.
That's the next item, but on the amendment, is there anything?
I don't think so. No, I think that's everything.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you think we're protected, I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the road use and maintenance agreement with Silver Queen Wind Farm LLC. Any more discussion from the board?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, Silver Queen Wind Farm LLC project update. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
You can introduce yourselves. You can see our nameplates. Other than that's not Courtney, that's Emily, but everything else is correct.
Sounds good.
Gotcha.
Is this on too? Looks like it's on. Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, thanks all for the time today. My name is Zach Vlasic. I'm the senior project manager for the Silver Queen Wind Farm.
And Bobby Canis, also a senior associate project manager and worked on this project since 2022.
So yeah, thank you all for the approval. Experiment, we figured we'd also show up and just give info. Update, since you probably haven't heard from us in a little bit. So for Silver Queen, still 252 megawatt wind farm, roughly 350 landowners that are signed up in the project. Still currently looking at 58 turbines, which I believe is the same as last time that we discussed. We're looking at a Vestas machine. That might change with technology, but we're pretty far along at this point that we're pretty confident that that's what we're choosing. There's going to be 33 wind turbines in Carroll, 25 in Crawford. The project splits that county line. Two major things that we're kind of working on right now that's really big for the project. So we're finalizing our interconnection agreement. Really that's the agreement where, as soon as you determine you want to build a project and you want to inject power on the grid, you have to go to the grid system. In this case, it's Southwest Power Pool. Request that you can inject into the grid. There's numerous studies that you have to go through in order to get to the end being that agreement that allows you to inject. we've been tendered that agreement. There's a little bit of discussion period right now between us and SPP just to finalize. But we should be executing that in the next month. And that'll be the right to inject full project capacity onto the grid. So that's a big step. And then the other one is we're currently having construction contractor to bid the project. There's, you know, a handful of contractors in the United States that build projects of the size. We're lucky to say that the big three, I would say, are interested in bidding the projects. We had a site visit about a month ago with them. It's really awesome to have kind of all three of them bid the project, because you know you're gonna get competitive pricing, you know they're gonna do a good job. When it comes to landowners, the biggest thing that we're working through right now is just cleaning up leases and easements. Some of these agreements we signed a while ago, so we're having to amend the development term in order to provide us with enough time to get to construction and get to operations. We have a land agent, who's here locally, granted he's home this week, but he's usually out for about a month at a time. And he's been working with landowners, we've been working with landowners, in order to sign those extensions. And then the last big thing being construction, so, we are trying to finalize that timeline right now. But I will say that there will be kind of the majority of construction will be occurring in 2027. Probably a little bit towards the end of 2026. I was just talking with Zach about this. We'll probably have our pre-construction meetings with the county engineer, most likely late 26, early 27. And we'll be having those discussions. The only other thing that I was gonna touch on was just those road crossings. And that amendment, so I just wanted to throw out a couple of things. So yeah, we're trying to line up the road use agreements across counties just to kind of make sure they're a little similar for the construction contractors. Allowing crane crossings on gravel roads. If you can't cross with a crane erected, you have to take the crane apart in order to move it across the road, and that takes it from, you know, maybe like a half of a day to cross the crane to, you know, like a multi-day job. So it's, you know, extremely efficient for us to be able to cross the crane while it's built up. And then just wanted to throw out, this is just a fun fact, but there's only like roughly 10 to 15 cranes in the US that can actually build these projects, build these wind turbines. So a lot of the time you have construction contractors kind of like fighting over who has the cranes at what time, and that can also lead to like increasing costs. So we're appreciative of the approval of the amendment. That is all I had. It was a quick update, but I'd love to hear any questions.
So there was a Board of Adjustment meeting 4 months ago for the 590-foot height.
Yep.
Is that what these are gonna be? Is the 590? Okay.
Yep.
Is there a place you're gonna have like a home base where you're gonna set everything up at in Carroll County, Crawford County?
We do have a laydown yard, where we'll have like our main source of operations during construction. That's will be like where the construction trailers are, where
Yep,
there's
yep.
spare parts stored. That is in Crawford County, I believe.
Okay,
And then during operations, we'll have the operation and maintenance building, where our operators will be stationed out of, permanently. That's actually, we just recently, signed an agreement with the landowner. It's right across the street from where our project substation is gonna be, which is also in Crawford County.
okay, thank you.
Is there a total dollar amount the whole project costs roughly?
Yeah, it's, off the top of my head, it's roughly, I would say like $610 million.
Of which, how much is federally subsidized?
That's always a really good question.
Cause I thought with the new administration, this project might die.
Yeah, and that's a great question. You know, what we've seen out of this administration, I guess there's a couple of things. First, at the beginning of this year, there were some executive orders that were released, mostly targeting offshore wind, and targeting grants, and loans, none of which the project is taking advantage of. So we're fine there. More recently, in the One Big Beautiful Bill, that specifically limited the time frame for the tax credits. And then you also have the Treasury guidance that was released earlier this month, which also tweaked the way that projects could qualify for the tax credits. For this project specifically, just because it's so late stage, we have seen it will qualify for the credits. Like none of that has been impactful to this specific project, but you're gonna start seeing impacts to earlier stage projects that haven't been as far advanced.
Any more questions for
Hmm.
Silver Queen Wind Farm?
Your conversations with the landowners, sorry.
Nope.
Has that gone pretty well? I mean, are they receptive? Have you had anybody say no?
Not really, honestly. They have been really receptive. You know, I think an extension is always that hard thing to explain to a landowner when you go to them for an agreement and it's like, hey, this was already 6 years. Why do you need more time? And you know, something I always kind of, just to give some perspective, the interconnection timeline to get the right to get onto the grid is really the thing that's driving projects to be delayed. That's the main cause. Like 15-20 years ago, that wasn't an issue. But now there are a lot more projects that are trying to get onto the grid. Those studies are taking a lot longer. Back in the day, it would maybe take 1 to 2 years. Now we're seeing it take 5 to 6 years just to get through that process. And talking them through that, like it does become challenging, right? Because when you first approach a landowner and you ask 10 years, like no one's gonna sign that. Like I wouldn't sign that if I, you know, asked for a 10-year time period. Of course, back when we signed these, we thought it was only gonna take 2 years, but you know, that's oftentimes why we'll sign like 5 or 6 year agreements because this takes so long. That's why we're going for extensions. Once we talk them through that reasoning and just the fact that, you know, the project is still here, we're still interested in building. That's gotten a lot of people across the line. Maybe there's 1 or 2 that do just involve maybe more specific conversations, but I think the majority of the landowners are understanding.
And for the general public, these are basically around the county line, between Arcadia and Manning.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't know the townships, but
Arcadia, Washington,
okay, thank you, Gene. Tribal knowledge.
and then they're all basically west of the, what we call the Osceola, the blacktop between
Delta.
Delta.
OCO.
Any more questions?
Appreciate you guys answering questions and coming when you didn't have to. So
Yeah.
it's always nice to be open about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number C, Zach, you have a utility permit that kind of scrambles between 140th, 150th, Noble, Mahogany. Kind of.
Yeah, I think this is kind of cleaning up some things for them. Again, more of a kind of an extension of the fiber that's out there right now. So not a whole lot of area, you know, roughly maybe a little over 2 miles altogether. But just kind of filling in some gaps and connecting some folks that weren't on the initial goal. I think part of it's about how they submit for the grants and what area can be included and what can't, some of those things. So, but otherwise nothing different in how they're doing the process. I mean, they'll be plowing and boring based on where they're at, based on where culverts are and things like that. So, really nothing different than what we've experienced the last couple of years with this fiber project that has gone through.
So I'm looking for a motion to approve Western Iowa.
And
So moved.
That shows like when they go across the road, they go deep, like 10 foot on that.
It depends. I mean, it's a minimum of 4 foot underneath the roadbed.
Yeah.
But depending on what other utilities are there and everything like that. We're making sure they go 10 feet underneath most of our culverts. Because a lot of the culverts have tile as well.
Oh.
We started going deeper to make sure that we were well underneath the tiles that are there.
Yeah.
So we don't hit tile. That's probably the biggest concern that we have from those, because those are. Obviously, we don't have all those located. We don't know where all those are. So that's our safest way to protect those tile.
Okay.
So those are all bored in at 10 feet deep?
If there's a culvert that's deeper than 10 feet, then we may let them go above it, just because then it becomes more of a chore to get underneath if you're trying to go 15 or 20 foot deep. But if the culvert is shallower than 10 feet, then we've made them go underneath that culvert. I've got a copy.
Do you locate some of the stuff like they do in town, or how do you locate them just by your maps you have?
Well, we asked them to go out to find these culverts. Sometimes they do a good job, sometimes they don't. But usually our staff goes out and reviews the plans. That's what takes a little bit of time
Okay.
sometimes, and tries to find those culverts and intakes and potential issues, I guess.
Sure, okay, thanks.
Okay, so looking for a motion to approve the Western Iowa Network.
Someone did.
Dean already did it. Did you approve it?
Did you make a motion?
I
I'm sorry.
already did.
Okay. Was there a
I'll
second?
second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number C is construction update.
Excuse me, couple things. One is Ralston Bridge project on the Green County line. Getting very close on that. Got a little bit of earthwork to do, a little bit of guardrail work to do. Pavement markings will be happening tomorrow and hopefully if all goes well, opening that up possibly late tomorrow or Wednesday. So there may be a little bit of few things to do as things dry up on cleaning up shoulders or ditches. But it should be able to do that with traffic. So
Just in time for harvest.
so we're glad to have that one go in the right direction and open it up. So
And no Topeka Shiner deaths.
not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I think they all got washed downstream. Other projects, we are continuing our patching on N14 on the north of Halber. This should be the last week of our patching. We are still gonna do a couple bridge approaches and the intersection down there just east of Halber with a contractor. So not sure when they're coming in yet. No, they've assured me that it's gonna be before harvest. So I'm guessing that'd be mid to late September before they get here, but
So that'll be on the east-west road, east of Halber,
the intersection's right where it turns,
where Noble
Yep.
meets. Okay.
Yep.
Yep, okay.
where Hawthorne
Two,
meets.
or I'm sorry, Hawthorne and 240.
Yep, and then the bridge approach is the just north of that. So one of the bridge approaches we did here, like last year, this would be the other bridge approach, so. But
Same bridge?
nope, different, the other bridge,
Okay.
the other bridge, yep. So. Other than that, just trying to pick away at stuff, so.
Any idea about the two box culverts down by? Columbus?
Yes, we're hoping, I think we're hoping to have a pre-construction meeting this week to find out for sure. But I'm guessing it'd be here middle September when they get started on those, so we'll find out more at our pre-con, but it definitely gonna be starting here in the next, I'd say 3 weeks for sure, so. But hopefully quick in and out and good weather and
Squeeze them in before harvest too then.
try to. I believe both boxes are built, so that's probably one of the biggest hurdles is the lag time on getting those boxes built. So I think they're both already built.
Are they getting built up at Lake City, Lakeview?
I know they're not getting built there. I don't know for sure where they're getting built at, but because they're only building concrete pipe in Lakeview now. They're not building boxes there anymore. So. Or the last I heard anyway.
I have two questions. One, progress on the River Road or Voyager with conservation and the landowners as far as gate placement.
We're good to go from that standpoint. It's just a matter of our staff getting time to be able to get up there and get going on that. I have not met with conservation up there the exact location on that end. The rest of it, I think we've pretty much got determined about where we need to be. It's just a matter of getting time to get it going. So
We have gates ready.
I don't think we do.
Okay.
Well, some of them will just be bought, I'm
Yeah.
guessing, and
Yeah.
other ones may have to be made, so.
And then, did you get a chance to look at the slurry on the north side of Breda?
In town there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that is like a slurry seal. That's what I would call it. Not sure what that cost is and whatnot, but the typical contractor that would be doing a lot of that work in town didn't do it, so I'm not sure who came in and did it. But yeah,
I just
look at it.
thought it was worth a thought as far
Yep.
as another township. We might, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions for Zach?
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Zach.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
Item number 2, Carroll County Growth Partnership presentation. Morning, Kimberly.
Good morning, Kimberly.
How are you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning again, everyone. This first day of school and an unusually cool morning compared to what it's been, but definitely a breath of fresh air, a relief, that's for sure. So I'm not gonna go through everything that is on the front and back of this handout that I gave, but I do want to highlight some things and of course answer any questions that you might have. The Carroll County Growth Partnership grant program was conducted again this year. So since 23, we've been able to give out 35 grants totaling $40,000 being awarded through private investment dollars that we've been able to raise. These are micro grants. So while they aren't huge grants, they do help business owners do projects. Gives them additional funding to, might be the last piece that they need to really make something work and make a decision to proceed forward with that project. So micro facade grants for new signage, windows, doors, maybe brickwork, any kind of that facade exterior work that needs to be done, which, as we all know, is really important in any of our communities throughout our county to maintain the buildings that are in our communities for sure. Glidden this year, Brooke Peterson, inspired by this grant program, launched her own grant program in Glidden, which when folks are able to layer these grant programs together, it really does make a significant difference in a project being able to be accomplished in our communities. The Carroll County Growth Partnership, along with the Chamber of Commerce, was very instrumental, bouncing off of the downtown assessment that we did a couple of years ago, in creating a grant program. Aaron Foiker, his partnership that we have with him has been great. And as you know, a facade program from the city of Carroll. The first year, those were $25,000 grants, 5 of those $25,000 grants, and this year they've been $20,000 grants. But still a great utilized program, which has been very catalytic in projects. Right now, there's either being finished or in process or going to be done, 10 buildings in our downtown area, which is very significant. And it really creates a vibe downtown, if you will, with the JCPenney's building being the first building to be redeveloped. And that was from a catalyst grant from the state of Iowa, along with the city of Carroll. But that really started a good feeling downtown of what can be accomplished. And when those two front retail spaces being filled, one with a boutique and one with scoops, that helped catalyze other things. And so I think we're seeing some good things happen, and that's never a bad thing, as you all know, in our downtown areas. Business retention and expansion program is probably one of the most important and key programs that a development corporation can do for the community and for the county. And this program is where we get out and visit with businesses to go through a specific survey and ask questions, very specific, ask businesses questions about specific things like, are you planning to expand? Are you planning to contract? All these things, very key questions that help us know what we need to do, what resources do we need to provide, or what maybe concerns there might be. From the most recent business visits, there have been talks of expansions in businesses. Some of those are already taking place. But one of the number one identified issue over and over and over again, we're hearing about workforce, and that there's not enough workforce and they can't find the kind of talent that they need. And, we're not unique in that way. That's a problem everywhere you go. It's a topic everywhere you go. But we're certainly hearing that as their number one issue here. So, I don't even like to think this, but one business is considering expanding elsewhere, not moving their location out of Carroll County, but their next expansion maybe won't be in Carroll County, and they're looking at a more populated area. We don't like to hear that, but it really tells us where our focus needs to be, and we've got to start looking more seriously at workforce initiatives and what can we do to assist in this space.
Question, are those entry level jobs that this business is going to perhaps relocate or to add additional staff? Are they entry level or are they skills?
I would say they're both.
Okay.
So some would be entry level, but then also some would be related to robotics.
Thank you.
What, did you hear any feedback of what's the main reason why people won't read? Is it like childcare or what are some of the
Yeah,
reasons?
I would say D, make the list, and then it would be D, all of the above.
Housing, childcare.
I'm just, was curious, but
Right. Childcare it remains to be a huge issue and, there aren't any easy, quick answers to that. I think if we could figure out the magic potion for that, we could get some people back in the workforce. But everything costs money,
Mhm. Right.
unfortunately.
Thank you.
Right. But you know, when it comes to the robotics and things like that, there's certainly training programs available that we could bring in from DMAC and things like that, where we could give them a specialized programs geared for that specific business. But when you don't have the people to do it, therein lies the first so, you know, 80% or more of our future growth is going to come from existing businesses and not necessarily recruitment from outside. That's just a fact of rural America. We're not unique in that way. That's, you know, recruiting from outside is extremely difficult and probably not where all the man hours and money should be placed. However, you never want to, you never quit doing that. Certainly, we would take anything from outside a new business. But for example, a new business that is coming to Carroll County has made that commitment, has downsized their project at least 2 times, if not 3 times, and has put off building and all extenuating circumstances that none of us can do. And when they report that their business is down 40% due to economic issues, that really changes the project that for Carroll County that otherwise probably would be up and running already. So, you know, a lot of things that we can't control, but we certainly try to move things along and be assistance in however we can. And some of these things on down through business retention and expansion, I'll let you look over. But again, business retention is probably one of the most important things we can do to stay in touch with our businesses and keep working on the things, the key issues that help them grow, expand, and retain what they have already here in Carroll County. Business development and entrepreneurship, Hub 712, and what we've been able to accomplish through that. We are seeing businesses expand that are getting assistance through Hub 712. We've seen brand new businesses start up. With locations, buildings being filled here and there, sprinkled around throughout the county with assistance, and we've seen businesses access capital because of assistance that we've been able to provide for them with business plans, doing their cash flow projections for them, helping them complete applications that if you've ever gone to get a revolving loan fund, those applications are not short. And for some people, that's a game stopper. And we want to remove those barriers and help folks do those applications if that's what we need to do. So supporting entrepreneurship and growing from within is definitely a strong focus. Workforce education, going back to workforce again, the county labor shed study, those labor shed studies by Iowa Workforce are being updated, and we should have those results hopefully within the next 3 to 6 months. I'm not quite sure how long that will take, but that information is important to tell us where labor is coming from, where it's going to, and what do we need to focus on as a county, what has changed. Workforce development programs. Right now, through Hub 712 and in collaboration, of course, with CCT and the DMAC, we're seeing that there is a need to provide certain types of training for employers. We're starting to hear that feedback from them, and we're responding to that feedback that we're getting. And even things just so simple as providing an Excel training program that folks don't have to travel to get. They don't necessarily need to do it online, where some people really appreciate that in person, where they can collaborate, ask questions, get immediate responses, and better learning that way. So working with several of our employers in our community and with DMEC in providing those programs, we see an opportunity to grow that as we're hearing more feedback about that. So I think that's definitely a gap that we can step in and fill. Leadership and advocacy. The Carroll County Leadership Institute is entering its 27th year. As you all know, that program has been a great success. We never have a problem filling that program from our county employers. And those participants will be touring businesses, learning more about the county, the government, how things run. And it engages folks and deepens their pride in our county. And really the knowledge that they get from that is greatly appreciated. And the aha moments, I think, are kind of one of the most fun things about it. There's so many students that are project participants that say, I never knew that about our county. I've lived here all my life and I didn't know, you know, this or that or whatever. So it continues to be a strong program that's getting kicked off next month. Our Access Washington trip is currently being planned. We're going to be going to Washington in November this year. And we are looking for issues that companies need to have at the federal level that need to be presented. Anyone's welcome to go with us. It's even better to have, rather than myself or, you know, anybody who's a paid person, it's better to have that actual company president or owner go with us. We do have, we always take healthcare as an issue. Rural healthcare will always be one of our top issues that we present. And there are several other issues that, you know, ag issues are always on the top of our list as well. But we're in the process of compiling those things and getting that trip put together. And as you all know, there's an election coming up. So the chamber side of things, we're working on our candidate forum, and we do have a date set for that. We'll announce that very soon. And we're looking forward to providing our residents with an opportunity to meet the candidates and to have those that Q&A time with them, which is important. The last one is tourism. I left that blank. It's a clean slate for Carroll County. There has been some conversation about tourism in Carroll County and what kind of a concerted effort do we have. And there is nothing organized as a county. Our communities each do that independently. And it has been brought to my attention several times. Do we need to do that? Why aren't we doing that? Things like that. I will tell you that the Carroll County Book Partnership we are redoing our website to make it have better information and bringing it more local so that we can have better control over that. And we have made an extensive tourism page to that website, which won't go live until some decisions are made, but we are looking at building that out and looking forward to maybe getting some feedback from you all, but also getting our county folks together, all the leadership in each of our communities. And, you know, what do they need from us? What suggestions do they have? How can we best implement or launch countywide marketing and tourism program? So again, that's a clean slate. I put it down because it's been brought to me. Any questions for me? I can say that there's a couple of projects that I've talked to. You know, it's always good to have individual conversations with all of you. I always appreciate that opportunity. there's a couple of projects, you know, economic development. You have a few meetings and everything feels so good and they're great projects and then things go silent for months and months. And that's the nature of the beast. That's the way it works. I have checked on a couple of those projects, and they're still in the works. They're still happening, according to what I'm hearing. But it's just as frustrating for me as it is for all of you, I can guarantee.
It's no different than the windmill. They came around 6-7 years ago to these farmers, you know,
Mhm.
still haven't started,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
So,
and, you know, as I said before, there's so many extenuating circumstances, you know, with the new administration and policies changing at the federal level and things like that, people feel the bottom button for a while and understandably so.
Yep.
So,
I think this year for the Carroll County leadership, 3 of us sitting here have spoke to the attendees on that. I think this year you need to pick on the other 2 that haven't.
we can do that.
Ashley, take note of that.
Yeah.
I think he's acting like I'm not right here.
No, I can mark.
No.
Listen, us 3 of us have.
yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean? I like doing that one.
Thank you. You can have my spot.
Yes, you can have mine too. Do them both.
They are fun.
They are fun.
I'll tell you that, the engagement with our elected officials are something that they talk about a lot. Because I think what you and the city officials bring to the table and talk to them about, they just, you know, you don't know what you don't know until you really get in the trenches. And, you know, it's very enlightening. Certainly what you deal with on a day.
Well, the city makes them do a workshop, actually do a budget.
Right.
I bring a lot of laughter.
Yes. No, I support everything you guys are doing and having Dan Colhane last Friday, hearing some of his stories of how many years it can take to bring a project. But how quick they were able to bring that Daisy project. That's incredible.
Right, and, you know, I talked to Dan afterwards and we were talking, and I said, Dan, how often do you feel like a project like Daisy comes along? He said, no, a project like that could be a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
And he said, we got lucky, and,
They're still gonna have trouble probably finding 400 workers.
right,
Yeah, they've got the ground available and the tax incentives and the governor behind them, but yeah.
and then there's all the dairy that goes. with it, that
Exactly.
We, yeah, all the support.
Yeah.
That needs.
Yeah, Gene is on the executive board. I sit on the regular board, but we meet every couple of weeks and yeah, the effort's out there.
Yeah, like I said, I'd be thrilled to have, ribbon cuttings and celebrations and big announcements all the time, but the fact is, we don't have the workforce. I mean, we could create jobs and create jobs and create jobs, but we don't have people. And outside companies looking at where they want to expand to have already done the homework. You know, they know what our population is, they know what our unemployment rate is, they know what our housing looks like. They know all those things, so they already know.
We do have a cheap tax rate going for us, I will say that. But that doesn't necessarily land a business.
Right. But you know, there's still great things happening and really working with our businesses, that 80% that's gonna expand here and retain what we have is so crucial. And I say this all the time, I'll say it again. Carroll County is so fortunate in that we have so many communities with so much pride, that are so well kept, that have housing opportunities, existing homes, lots, where if you don't want to live in Carroll, and you work in Carroll at Pella or wherever, there are opportunities in Carroll County. And when we go back to that tourism issue and the marketing piece, we probably need to focus a whole lot more on just marketing all the good things and about Carroll County. And one of the things that outside businesses do look at is, you know, the quality of life and the livability and what's it like, and are our employees going to have quality of life if we do decide to move to this community or county. So a well-rounded package, I think, is what we know we need to do.
Any more questions for Kimberly about?
No, but I
CCT?
appreciate you coming and giving us an update.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
No,
Thank you.
I support everything you do.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for everything, Ashley. Item number 3, approved payables, the original amount was 392, 889, 17 cents. A few more were added this morning, so now the new total is $393,296.19.
12 cents. I think it's 12 cents.
Okay, 12 cents. So.
I'll make a motion to approve the payables.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, review and consider Verkada panic button quote Dolphin.
I guess.
Ricotta. Ricotta. Woo.
Thank you.
Oof.
Problem?
Thank you.
Man. Was it one good?
Not good anymore.
That was great. Now it's different.
Well,
The top sheets. Okay.
panic button systems are expensive as Wednesday.
Yes.
So I'm here on behalf of the safety committee. I had brought these 3 quotes and bring you to them, to talk to them about which panic button system we want to go with. We're trying to replace our aging panic button system that, is getting worse by the day. So, hopefully get something new in here. The one that I would like would be the Ricotta one. I did, obviously attach the 3 other quotes to the other 2 systems. They're a lot more expensive. So for Ricotta, it's pretty much checks all the boxes that we need. The other systems are very similar to that, but at a much higher cost.
What's the 3? That's one's 3 times as much. What's the?
That's. So I honestly didn't even let that company come out here and quote us. So they were gonna charge us like $10,000 just to do a wireless analysis on a building, which that wasn't necessary. So this was like the rough, whatever they gave us for pricing, what they were gonna give us.
No, it's just crazy. 3 times is 3 times better.
Yeah.
Maybe they go by square feet and just throw a formula at it.
It's outrageous.
So the
So
walls, see if it'll stick, huh?
didn't even consider them, obviously.
Yeah.
So the quote there is even an official quote from them. It's what the base pricing they gave for everything. But at 3 times as much for that one, I wasn't gonna consider that. But it's really hard to find a panic button system, I found out. I probably quoted about 6 different ones, but these 3 were the ones that actually fit for the Carroll County buildings. So the system is expandable, which is nice. So this original proposal here would cover the courthouse and the Fricky building. But down the road, if we want to add some of the other outbuildings, we definitely could.
So if conservation wanted one, it could cover that.
Yeah.
So when this says 60 of them,
60 buttons.
Are they buttons like these, Dalton, or are they
Yeah.
online? Are some of these online where it can be on your phone or on your desktop?
The good thing about the Ricotta system, like that system there is like an old, just a shortwave radio system. You press the button, it alerts a panic button system or a panel that's down in the emergency operations center. This system's a little bit different since it does connect online. It does have also the analog. So if you press a button, a lot of things will happen. One, an audible alert can happen pretty much anywhere in the building that I set up the sirens. They'll say, hey, panic button pressed at this location. A text message can go out to all the deputies, all the sheriff's department, all the board of supervisors, all the department heads if we want. As soon as the button's pressed, where it was pressed, what time. Third, we can also have automatic reporting to the computers. There's a program that'll show up on the screen for like the 911 operations center. It might show up and say, hey, button pressed, this location. So all these things will kick off at once, so which is nice. So there's multiple alerts, not just one panel that's buzzing downstairs. So
And the safety committee was happy with the
yeah,
the quote that you recommended.
yeah. So the discussion with the safety committee, obviously we landed on Ricotta as well. The other system does, the Alertus, the next one, it does work at a little bit higher price point. And they don't have as many of the features as Ricotta does. Ricotta also opens us up to an expansion of Ricotta later down on the road. They have like a fob system, they have cameras, they have everything else we could do with them if we were to want to jump towards them in the future.
think a few Smith and Wessons would be cheaper.
Quote of the day, Mike Anderson
Anyways,
in a public meeting.
You might be.
This is great, pretty good.
Honestly, I think it's outrageous too. So I'm very frugal, so I'm looking for pricing, and this is about the best.
So 60 of them, that's quite a few buttons, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, you think about the treasurer's office, one of them probably has 15 buttons. You know, on one of the counters, you know, at the employee desk, you know, at the stations, so. They do tally up pretty quickly, so.
They're only not
So
that,
like how
that's
many-
the cheap part.
How many you have like for auditors?
So I've went through every single office, and this was the tally that I do after figuring out where everybody wants buttons. I couldn't tell you the exact count without looking at the map, but. I just made sure everybody's happy in every department where they wanted buttons and all that good stuff, with 60 was kind of what we ended up with because of that.
Yeah, it's the cheap part.
One thing, we can get $1,000 off it. We can get a grant from our insurance company, IMWC, if they thought of this.
Mark, do you have any thoughts from safety committee? I mean, was.
We all looked at it and we approved and we thought it was a
Okay.
good system and we liked we asked the, first of all, if you made sure you got 2 to 3 quotes, which you did.
Yeah.
And this was the lowest one and this is the one that he likes. So I guess, we thought it was a pretty good deal.
You don't
A
want-
lot of money. I hate spending.
So is
that
this
money, but-
installed then?
No, this is not installed, but most of this is,
Is Wi-Fi?
it's not, yeah, network driven, so our power over Ethernet, so a lot of that we can install ourselves.
So it won't take long to install it.
Yeah, like right now, we're still waiting on, you know, our door system, so. At least if we can get the equipment and stuff on site, we can start launching some of this, so.
So, and this is a 10-year?
This one right here, yes.
So, no, there's no more questions. Looking for a motion to approve the IT and safety.
These
committee
strobes, they're in the hallway then?
No,
No, those are offices only,
Oh, in the office then?
yeah,
one in particular.
yeah. So that's kind of a security driven thing, we can talk about that another time, but on the public forum.
One, I want to thank you for taking the time and getting this. I support 100% the safety committee and protecting our employees. I know this is a cost, but so is protecting our employees. And our system is inadequate. And actually, when we did the construction update, a lot of the buttons got lost, moved. So I will go ahead and make the motion, and with your guidance, Dalton, if this is the one you.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve how do you say?
Ricotta.
Ricotta quote in the amount of $29,835. Where, if this does get approved after my motion, where can we pull this money from? I know we have some money in local option sales tax.
There may be some, well, first 1,000 could come from our insurance grant.
Yeah,
And I think, I'm not so sure is some money in capital, maybe possible.
I think there is.
That's the important question.
There is, because we were gonna do some stuff down in the basement as well. So yeah, we'll just have to figure out, but
Well. And I agree with everything you said, and I think with today's society, probably more important than ever that we have this ease in place. But I do think that for the public's knowledge, we need to also. We mentioned about Agata vote, but I think we need to mention the other ones, this Lourdes was 33,695. And the quote from
links.
Lynx was 100,325. So just for the public's record, we'll just let them know the other quotes. And I will second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion from the board? I will say this item and item number 5, Courtney did say we'll take a budget amendment and probably coming from the lost. So all in favor? Aye. Opposed? No. Motion carries 4-1. Item number 5.
It's good.
Thank
Thank
Dalton.
you. Merchants Park funding. I think we approved $50,000 for Merchants Park in 23. I believe it was supposed to be over 2 years coming out of local option sales tax if they received the grants, which they did.
My understanding from talking to Courtney is the city never submitted a request to us
For the
for the money. So Chad's here if we have any questions, Chad from the city, Chad Thiemeyer. But so basically, we're looking to approve the $50,000 that was already approved but not dispersed over the last couple of years.
Cause wasn't it, if I remember right, wasn't it 25 and 25?
Yes.
Spread out over 2
Yeah,
years.
they just never submitted the request to us. And that's what Chad's here if we got questions, but
Got any comments, Chad?
Stadium looks good.
It does.
All the
Yeah.
improvements look awesome.
Other than thank you guys for. For their family, so. Look good, we've had a lot of tournaments, a lot of people from the outside coming, and hopefully that state baseball will be here for a long time.
Absolutely.
I'll make a motion that we approve the request.
Yeah, we already.
we've approved it,
So-
but we disperse it.
Yeah, it's just first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to give it back. We have to give it to them.
The request for the money.
There you go.
Okay.
I'll
We have
second
a
it.
motion and a second
Yeah.
to cut the city a check for $50,000 that
If
was
we've already-
previously approved. Any more discussion? Not all in favor? Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
Item number 6, IMWCA Board of Trustee ballot. We have 3 openings. And there are 3 candidates and the term ends in October of 2028. Adam Greer, Mayor of Williamsburg, Katie Flint, Franklin County Auditor, and John Canoyer, Director of Risk and Management Services, Urbandale. So I guess what we're looking for is if somebody would like to nominate all 3 of them, it would probably be the simplest.
I don't. I just nominate.
Yeah, it's,
That
is that a motion?
I'll make a motion, nominate the 3 that are listed. Adam and Katie and John.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to nominate Adam, Katie, and John to be Iowa Municipalities Workers' Compensation Association trustees. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, manure management updates. Clark Family Farm, Section 2, Cameron Township, Audubon County, no changes. Schwer's Finishers, Section 5, Arcadia Township, no changes. Brett and Garrett Neese, 2, Section 29, Neese Township, no changes. Brett and Garrett Neese, 1, Section 19, Neese Township. Committee reports.
I can go first. I have nothing but, nothing going on this week. I did get an email from Jason this morning, Christian, that we had a fish kill at Swan Lake, and then Wallace is coming down to look it over and check oxygen levels. That's all they know right now. Thank you.
Thanks for that update.
I can go next. Last week I had ISACs. We were down in Des Moines Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I will say the conference was actually really well. There was a couple things I wanted. Every year we do approve the legislative ideas or things that we want our legislators to go to the Capitol and kind of
Our
lobbyists go to work for us and what counties are interested in this year. I thought that went well. I actually do sit on that board. And then I thought the assessors meeting was very interesting.
There's gonna be a follow-up on that from
Yep.
Sarah. She wants to be on our agenda.
Yeah. And then, let's see, what else we got?
And you also are now a NACO member.
I
That's
am.
the biggest announcement headlines. It's a NACO member. National Association of Counties, Stephanie Hausman representing Carroll County, Iowa.
Yes. And in the future, I'll be reaching out because I want to know what you guys
She signed up
feel
for NACO.
are some of the topics that you think we need to focus on and learn from. This upcoming week, I have the newspaper radio today, and then I have Wesco at 12:30.
Last week, Tuesday, the sheriff's cell got postponed 1 week. While I was there, I did have a conversation with John Kretzinger regarding the jail. Also Tuesday was CCGP meeting at Western Iowa Networks. Dan Colhane of the Ames Alliance. It was a full house and it was
interesting how the city of Ames now covers 4 counties as far as economic development. And they have a large staff to handle everything. Wednesday was ISAC. I did talk to the sheriff about a lighting issue in the jail. He thought it was worth conversation, thought it was gonna have to be a budget amendment, gonna be expensive to fix. Thursday, I was at ISAC, but talked to the county attorney. I did issue a statement to WHO TV 13 News regarding the county. Friday, ISAC in the morning. The sheriff did get back to me that the lighting issue was fixed without it being any cost. I think DNR Electric came up with some way, a workaround to make it so we don't have to do what he was afraid he was gonna have to do. But ISAC in the morning, I worked with Chris Whitaker on our next county roundtable. Tentative date is September 24th in Glidden. I did go look at secondary roads claims and the courthouse claims. And this next week, I will have limited access to emails.
So if anybody has anything, make sure you reach out to Mike.
No, my email out of office says, get a hold of Stephanie Hausman at shausman, Carroll County, Iowa.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Tuesday is that CCGP meeting that Scott talked about. I thought it was a very informative meeting. And then Wednesday through Friday was at ISAC. Again, too, I think there was a lot of good discussions there, a lot of good topics. Always a good educational event. This week, I really do not have anything, and I will become probably unreachable too for almost 10 days.
Everybody's unreachable.
Nope.
All right, Stephanie and Mike.
I'll be here.
Last week, on Monday at a child care board meeting, we welcomed 2 new board members. Update on JP Flooring, they completed a flooring project. And child care received a $5,000 grant for their curriculum. And they're looking to hire 2 more full-time staff if you know anybody wants to work with the child care. Tuesday at a safety meeting, we approved the quote, which we approved by the Board of Supervisors today. And we're going to schedule the active shooter training after the panic buttons are installed. We thought, and I talked to Franzen this morning, he thought it'd be a good idea to do it all at one time. Wednesday, the same thing. I attended the ISAC annual conference, and as Stephanie said, it was a good conference. And some of the items for the lobbying are going to be on eminent domain, Medicaid funding, Iowa's natural resources. They wanted a good solution to be to have that 0.3% increase in taxes and property tax reform. This week, on Wednesday, I've got a hazmat meeting in Fort Dodge. I'd be attending that with Jeff Cullen. That's all I have for this week.
Comments from those in attendance? And on here, I have Courtney next Tuesday, but I guess I'll switch it to Emily next Tuesday. Anything on the agenda? Okay. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned at 9:58 AM. It'd be a good one. No. Yes, okay, no problem. We're still. One Courtney. Yeah. All right, so am I, to me, this should be